Heaven. The word itself evokes images of ethereal beauty and blissful serenity. It conjures up visions of a place where all worries vanish and peace reigns supreme. We often imagine it as a distant realm, a reward awaiting us after death, a place where we are finally free from the trials and tribulations of earthly life. But what if heaven is not a place we go to, but a state of being we can access right here, right now? What if it is a profound sense of peace and contentment that we can cultivate within ourselves? What if the kingdom of heaven is within us, waiting to be discovered? This idea invites us to look inward, to explore the depths of our own hearts and minds. This transformative perspective challenges us to reconsider our understanding of heaven. It asks us to shift our focus from an external destination to an internal experience. It invites us to shift our focus from the future to the present moment, to the extraordinary potential for joy and peace that resides within us. By being fully present, we can tap into a wellspring of inner tranquility. It suggests that heaven is not a destination, but a journey, a continuous unfolding of grace and wonder in the everyday moments of our lives. Each moment becomes an opportunity to experience the divine. This shift in perspective requires a willingness to look beyond the confines of our conditioned minds, to break free from the chains of past regrets and future anxieties. It calls for a deep sense of awareness and presence. It calls for us to embrace the present moment in its entirety, with all its imperfections and uncertainties, and to recognize the divine spark that illuminates our very existence. This spark is a reminder of our inherent worth and beauty. When we let go of our attachment to the past and future, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the now. We become free to experience life in its fullest, most vibrant form. We become present to the beauty that surrounds us, the love that connects us, and the miracle of our own being. In this state, we can truly appreciate the richness of life. In this space of presence, we find heaven on earth, a sanctuary of peace and joy that resides within us always. It is a place where we can return to, time and time again, to find solace and inspiration. This inner sanctuary is not bound by time or space. It is eternal, ever-present, and accessible to all who seek it. By nurturing this inner paradise, we cultivate a life of profound peace and joy. The journey to finding paradise within is one of self-discovery and acceptance. It is about embracing our true selves and recognizing the heaven that lies within us. This journey is a testament to the boundless potential of the human spirit.
Throughout history, mystics and spiritual teachers from various traditions have pointed to the possibility of experiencing heaven in the present moment. They have often described this state as a profound sense of unity with the divine, a feeling of being deeply connected to the source of all existence. This experience is not reserved for the afterlife, but is accessible here and now in the midst of our daily lives. Christian mystics like Meister Eckhart and Julian of Norwich spoke of a God who is not distant and separate, but intimately present within the depths of our being. They emphasize that the divine spark resides within each of us, waiting to be discovered and nurtured through inner contemplation and spiritual practice. Eckhart urged his followers to detach themselves from all things and to unite themselves with God, emphasizing that God is found not in external rituals or dogmas, but in the silence and stillness of the present moment. He believed that by letting go of our attachments to worldly things, we could open ourselves to the divine presence that is always with us. Similarly, Julian of Norwich in her famous revelation proclaimed, "All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well." Her mystical experiences provided her with a deep sense of peace and assurance, even in the face of great suffering and uncertainty. Her words, born out of a profound mystical experience during a time of great suffering, offer a message of unwavering hope and trust in the ultimate goodness of reality, a goodness that is accessible to us in the here and now. Julian's revelations remind us that no matter how dire our circumstances may seem, there is a deeper truth and a greater reality that is inherently good and benevolent. Buddhist monk as Buddhist monk. Buddhism, with its emphasis on mindfulness and the cessation of suffering, offers a path to liberation from the cycle of craving and attachment that keeps us trapped in a state of dissatisfaction. The teachings of the Buddha guide practitioners towards a state of inner peace and contentment, free from the constant striving and grasping that characterize much of human life. Through meditation and mindful living, Buddhists strive to cultivate a state of awareness and equanimity that allows them to experience the inherent peace and joy of the present moment, free from the distortions of the egoic mind. By observing their thoughts and emotions without attachment, they learn to see the transient nature of all things and to rest in the stillness of pure awareness. Hinduism too speaks of enlightenment or moksha as a state of liberation from the cycle of birth and death, a state of unity with the divine that is attainable in this lifetime. The ancient teachings of the Vedas and Upanishads describe this state as the realization of one's true nature, which is eternal and infinite. Through practices like yoga, meditation, and selfless service, Hindus aim to purify the mind and body, creating a vessel capable of receiving the infinite grace and wisdom of the divine. These practices help to dissolve the ego and to align the individual with the universal consciousness, allowing for a direct experience of the divine presence. These diverse spiritual traditions, though differing in their language and practices, all converge on a common point: the possibility of experiencing heaven on earth through a profound shift in consciousness, a turning away from the illusions of the mind and a turning towards the radiant presence of the present moment. By embracing the teachings of these mystics and spiritual traditions, we can learn to live in harmony with the divine spark within us and to experience the boundless peace and joy that is our true nature. The search for meaning and purpose has been a central concern for humanity since time immemorial. Philosophers in particular have dedicated their lives to exploring these profound questions, seeking to understand the essence of our existence and the nature of our reality. In a seemingly absurd and chaotic world where events often appear random and devoid of inherent meaning, the quest for understanding becomes even more pressing. This quest has occupied philosophers for centuries, driving them to ponder deeply about the human condition, the universe, and our place within it. Existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Martin Heidegger, while acknowledging the inherent absurdity of existence, also emphasize the importance of individual freedom and responsibility in creating meaning in a meaningless universe. They challenged us to confront the void and to carve out our own paths. Sartre's famous dictum, "Existence precedes essence," suggests that we are not born with a predetermined purpose or meaning, but rather we create our own meaning through our choices and actions. This idea revolutionized the way we think about identity and purpose. We are, in essence, condemned to be free. And with this freedom comes the responsibility to live authentically, to embrace the present moment and create a life that is true to our values and aspirations is not just a choice, but a necessity for genuine existence. Heidegger, on the other hand, focused on the concept of being in the world, emphasizing that we are not separate from our environment, but rather we are inextricably intertwined with it. Our existence is a dynamic interplay with the world around us. Our existence is not merely a matter of objective facts, but rather it is shaped by our relationships, experiences, and interactions with the world around us. This interconnectedness means that our sense of self is constantly evolving. To truly live, according to Heidegger, is to be fully present to the richness and complexity of our being in the world. This means to savor the beauty of a sunset, to engage in meaningful conversations, and to appreciate the simple joys of everyday life. It is in these moments that we find true fulfillment. Transcendentalists like Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau emphasize the inherent goodness of humanity and the transformative power of nature. They believed that nature held the key to unlocking deeper truths about ourselves and the universe. They believed that by connecting with nature and living in accordance with our intuition and conscience, we could transcend the limitations of society and experience a higher state of consciousness. This connection with nature was seen as a pathway to spiritual and personal growth. Emerson, in his essay Self-Reliance, urged individuals to trust their own instincts and to live a life true to themselves, regardless of societal expectations. He championed the idea that true wisdom and strength come from within. Thoreau, in his seminal work Walden, documented his experience of living simply in the woods, demonstrating the profound sense of peace and clarity that can be found in solitude and communion with nature. His experiment in simple living was a testament to the power of introspection and self-discovery. These philosophical perspectives, though diverse in their approaches, all highlight the importance of living in the present moment. They teach us to embrace our freedom and responsibility, and to find meaning and purpose in the midst of life's inherent uncertainties. By doing so, we can navigate the complexities of existence with grace and intention. They remind us that heaven is not a distant utopia, but rather it is a state of being that is available to us in the here and now, if only we have the courage to open ourselves to it. By embracing the present and living authentically, we can create a life that is rich with meaning and purpose right here, right now.